Hey everybody, welcome back to Trinity Dairy. It's November 22nd, 2024. We're back here working on the 806. Going to get the coolant drained out, see if we can get an engine heater plugged into it, and also try to get the cab heat hooked up. I've been messing with it a little bit here. I got the hood off, I got the coolant cap off, so that'll drain better. I've always been a little puzzled on this thing as to why it didn't have an engine heater on it already, because it's been in Minnesota, so it's not like it came from a warmer climate. And also why the cab heat, the other side, the side that pushes hot water into the cab is hooked up, but the side that came out was just cut off here. Nothing was hooked up. So the spot where we're going to hook to, which is the block drain here, looks like, as I got closer looking here, that somebody has tried already to get that to come out, and it looks like they've got it all rounded off. It also looks pretty nasty around here. I am also a little nervous about this because I don't want to break that off, but we're going to give it a shot. I think I'm going to pull the, well, it's supposed to drain out the end of this little thing, but it looks like a little mud bug has gotten in there and plugged it. So I think I'm just going to pull this center right out, let it drain, and then we can get something on there. I tried a little bit with a little pipe wrench here, but it didn't move. So we're gonna get this out of the way, and then we will try and get the other piece out and cross our fingers that it doesn't break off. Alright, I got it drained out. I screwed this back in just to give this inside piece a little bit of strength to fill that hole in so it doesn't collapse or crack. I tried that little pipe wrench a little more, but it's not quite enough room to get a good grip on it, so I'm going to try the vice grip and we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't break off. If it does, I guess we'll have to try to get it extracted, but we'll give this a whirl and see what happens. It just wants to keep rounding off, doesn't it? Let's see, what else can we try? It's definitely my guess as to why they never had a heater on there, because you can tell they tried getting this out, but it wasn't moving. Well, we're going to have to brainstorm on this a little bit and see what we can come up with, because this isn't working like I had hoped it would. I could maybe try heating this a little, but I don't want to crack this oil cooler, because that would be worse yet. I'm going to brainstorm a little bit and we'll come back and see what we come up with. Okay, we might have gotten it here. So what I did, I pulled the inside piece out of there, took my brass hammer, and I hit the end of that pretty hard a few times, and then I took a 1/2-inch socket. Well, this is 1/2-inch drive, but it's also a 1/2-inch socket, a 12-point, and I just hammered it on. Yeah, basically probably cut grooves into the brass with the 12 points, but I hammered it on there all the way good, and I put the ratchet on and I tried it a little bit, and it seems like it's moved. But we'll see, unless it broke off. So we're going to find out here now if it popped loose or if it broke off. maybe work it back and forth a little bit too, because it seems like it's moving, but it seems like it's moving kind of hard. There we go. By golly, it worked. And it doesn't matter that we wrecked this thing because it's not going back in there anyway, so that's not really gonna hurt anything. But yeah, there we go. So now I can get a piece of pipe to screw into there, and we can tap into there for our heater. I will try to get the one out of the top. They've got a valve in there right here, and I got it to turn some, so it should come out of there okay now, but we'll get that pulled out too. This fitting here, this valve, is where they had the cab heater plumbed into, so I think what I'll wind up doing is coming out of here with a T, screw this back into the end of the T for the cab heater so I can shut that on and off, and then the other one will have a line coming into it from the engine heater. Well, there it is, got that pulled out. I'm going to run to town, get some fittings to plumb this in, get the heater. I'm going to pick up an air filter while I'm in town because it's seen better days. It's getting pretty dirty. So I'm going to run, do that, and once I get back, we'll see if we can get this plumbed in. While I'm gone in town, now would be a good time. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. You can also hit the like button, leave a comment, and share the video if you know anybody who might like this kind of stuff. We will see you when I get back from town. Okay, we got back from town. Got my heater and I think all the fittings I need. I got some of it put together, so I mounted it here. It's a little bit further over than I wanted, but just for my top line is going to have to go a little bit farther to hook up to there. But this way it's out of the way of the loader. It mounted nice here, and I kind of tucked out of the way. I think it'll work okay. So the heater, I've never used this kind of heater before. It's I think it's a zero start. It's a 1500 watt. Came with a fitting that screwed right into here with a barbed fitting, so I got the hose hooked here, and then it came with this Y piece, so I'm going to splice that in, and then it'll continue to the heater, and then this other splice off that will go up to the return for the cab heat. So we'll set you up here and see if we can get this plumbed in a little bit. I don't have this heater tightened down yet. I might have to actually drill through and put another little bolt in there, but that's why it's moving around so much. Okay, there's that. All right, I am going to get a few fittings kind of put together and in place, and we'll come back when I start hooking that up. Well, I was hooking up this top line here. So I come out of this block with a T, and then I got this line going off to the cab heater, and then the engine heater line will come up and hook into here. But where I ran into a little bit of a snag is, so I had a barbed fitting that went into the end of this T, and it screwed in there all right, but between there and this injector line, there was not enough room to get the hose on. So I'm going to have to get a longer piece of pipe to come out of here to get past that injector line so I can get the hose on. And I don't have one, so I'm going to have to pick that up in town. So I'll have to get that tomorrow. But, or maybe I can pick something up tonight when I go to work. We can put that part together tomorrow. But otherwise, that all went together good. This barbed fitting here that I put in, it's a plastic one, and I don't know, I wasn't real excited to use plastic on there just because it is for hot water. But it was about the only one I could find that had the right size thread to fit that hose without having to have a bunch of adapters. So I guess we'll see how that works. If it gets soft and starts leaking, I'll have to put something else in there, but we'll give it a whirl. So another thing I want to do, since I took the valve out that was here, so that in the summertime you can shut the water off so it's not flowing up through the cab heater. And I don't think that valve was working anyway. So I'm going to put a valve just in this heater hose. So I don't know, I just picked up one of these. It's for PEX line. So it has a kind of a barbed fitting on it for the PEX. But I think it'll clamp down with a hose clamp with this rubber heater hose on here just fine, that I can put this right in line here. So we're going to see if we can get that in. I got to tie this up too, because it's just kind of been resting on the manifold there, and that's not really a good place, so I'll have to tie that up somewhere. But that actually might not be a bad place to put the valve, because it's kind of a worn spot in the hose anyhow. So we'll put the valve in there, and then we'll kind of tie it up out of the way. Kind of a bad spot in there too from rubbing on that exhaust manifold, so I'm going to cut that out of there. Fit pretty, maybe we should put it the other way. There, I can shut that on and off. Get a piece of wire or something and kind of tie that up out of the way there, so it's not rubbing on the exhaust like it was. We should be good to go there. Probably going to wrap that up for today. We'll get back at this either when I get home, if there's enough light left. Otherwise, we'll see if we can finish this up tomorrow. I did get a new air filter too, so that'll be good. I also got a straight exhaust for it, because I was looking in the muffler, and I think it's a pretty new muffler that they had on there, but this tractor must have idled a lot. It just didn't ever really get worked hard, because there's a lot of carbon and soot built up in the muffler and in the exhaust there. So I'm going to put the straight pipe on it so it can get a lot of that garbage blown out of there once it gets working. But anyway, we will, once I get the parts I need for the rest of this, we'll come back and see if we can finish it up. Hey everybody, welcome back. It's the next day here at the 806. Went to town and got the rest of the fittings that I needed to hook that up. So I came out of there with a piece of pipe to get over that injector line, and then I put an adapter on there to go from 3/8 to 1/2 inch pipe, and then I just got a little 1/2 inch hose nipple on there to hook to. So got it all filled with new coolant. I just actually had it running a little bit, get some of the air bled out of there. I think there's the heater up there. I don't think it's quite circulating through there yet. I might have to do a little more messing around to get the air bled out of that, but don't see any leaks. I pulled my temperature sending unit out of there and stuck that in some boiling water that I had in a pot there, and that seems to work, so that's good. I don't have to put a temp gauge in it. So now I'm going to work up in the cab, get the mouse nests and stuff out of there, and make sure all the wiring and everything up there is good. We'll let this sit now. I had it running a little while, and maybe it'll purge some of the air out of there. Well, I cleaned out the mouse nests up there. The main power wire going up, the coating was chewed off some, but it was still, the wiring was all intact, so I just sealed that up. There's the wire for the wiper motor. That's pretty much chewed off. I got to fix that. But I think the switch for the wiper motor and the switch for the lights, both switches are bad. When I jumpered the switch for the lights, they came on. I've got a jumper on them now. I jumpered the wiper switch and that didn't come on, but that wire is also still pretty bad. It could be that. I see I have one rear light that's not working, but that's okay. I'm sure it's probably a bulb. But I got the lights working. I got to see if I have a switch. I'm not sure if I do or not, but that's a pretty easy fix. So I'm going to see if I got a switch, and we'll see if we can get that in. All right, I got it fired up. I didn't have a switch, so I'll have to get one of them on Monday and put in, because nobody's open now. But that's no big deal. It just means the lights don't work for right now. Somebody mentioned in the last video that it sounded like it was missing, and you can hear it more now with the straight pipe on there. And I think it does. You can hear it's just not quite right. But I think what's going on is I think I've got just injectors that are clogged up, maybe something in the pump, because it smokes a fair bit too. So I'm thinking that the injectors aren't atomizing, the nozzles, the tips are clogged or something like that. The fuel that's in there now, I've got some different additive and some cleaner in there, and this thing I want to get it worked. Trouble is, this time of the year there's not a lot going on to really work it like it should be, but I think I'm going to take it up now, get it on the stock chopper, and maybe chop some corn stalks with it. That's not super hard work, but it's something more than just driving it around the yard. But before I go and get the pump rebuilt and injectors and all that, I want to get it worked, get some fuel through it, some of that cleaner through there, and see, maybe it'll straighten up on its own. I don't really think that it will, but you never know. Sometimes that stuff will clean through there and open up. So hopefully that's all it is. Nothing more serious engine-wise, but the way it smokes like that, I'm thinking that it's just got some unburnt fuel that's coming through there and just acting up that way. So we'll get it up on the stock chopper here this afternoon and get some work on it. Well, there we've been running it for about a half an hour, I would say, on the stock chopper. I think it's maybe starting to clear up a little bit. You can still hear a little bit of a tick in there, but it's not smoking like it was, so that's good. I was also concerned that the governor wasn't working, because when you'd get on a hill, like when I had the disc on it in that previous video, it wouldn't change at all. But I did notice, excuse me, when I got to, there's a hill over here that's pretty steep. When I started pulling that, it was kind of doing the same thing, and then about halfway up the hill, all of a sudden it kind of took off and found new life. So maybe that's starting to open up. Yeah, it seems to do pretty well. I don't see any of my hose connections leaking, so that's good. I think maybe the thermostat is either stuck open or maybe somebody's taken it out at one time. I'm not sure. But temperature gauge, I don't think it moved at all. The heater, the cab heater, that did start blowing a little bit of warm air, but not like it should be. But that gauge didn't move, so I might have to look into that and see if somebody's taken it out or if it's stuck or whatever, and get that replaced. But yeah, no, I think it flip you around here. So yeah, I think that's promising. It pulled it nice. I can't ask. I got no leaks on any of my stuff. I was kind of concerned about the leak. I had a little leak up in the top there, but that doesn't seem to be running down the hose, so that's good. So yeah, just the thing to keep running it, but to get it up to temperature would be nice, and I got to check into that thermostat and see what's going on, because it's not warming up like it. But anyway, we're probably going to wrap it up for this video. It's about chore time now, so I want to thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoy it, and we will see you in the next one.